Hello, Brookfield High School parents of ninth graders. My name's Anthony Alessio. I'm the ninth grade health teacher. I've been teaching at Brookfield High School for 19 years, both health and physical education. But I would say the past 10 years I've been all health, teaching ninth and 11th grade health. Things have changed in terms of graduation requirements, so now it's a full credit to graduate from Brookfield High School for health education, and I teach one semester of half of the ninth graders, and then the other half come semester 2. So I'll be teaching every ninth grader by the end of the year. It's the same curriculum for all of my classes, and I want to just talk a little bit about that, like what they're going to be learning, how they're going to be graded, a little bit about myself. And then, of course, any kind of questions that you may have, I'll give you my email address and all that at the end. So what I feel like my main job at the school is to make being healthy cool. Healthy in your mind, healthy in your body, healthy in your relationships, healthy in every way possible. I want to try my best to steer kids in that direction so that they can develop really good habits early on in life. As ninth graders, they're just starting this journey of high school, and I hope they can make it the best 4 years that they can possibly make it, achieve all their goals, and be the best versions of themselves at the end of these 4 years, moving on to college. So there are 4 units in health: injury prevention, nutrition and healthy lifestyle like exercise, substance abuse prevention, and human growth and development. So we start with injury prevention, which is basically your mental emotional health. We talk a lot about self-esteem initially and the relationship that we have with ourselves, trying to get kids to look inward a little bit, self-reflect, kind of identify their feelings and their emotions, being able to name how they feel. They can claim it. Name it, and you can claim it, and you can move forward. Sometimes there's confusion in how they feel. They don't really understand why they're feeling the way they feel. But this is a really critical skill that we kind of work on in different types of ways and activities to try and get them to look inward and be honest with themselves about why the decisions that they make, why they make them. Instead of just following the crowd. So goal setting, stress management, anger management, talk about anxiety and depression, suicide. I mean, very, very, very important topics, especially these days with the way things are going. I think that kids need these skills more than ever. And I truly believe that injury prevention, the first unit that we speak about and we learn about, is the common thread that ties all of the units together. So if they have a healthy relationship with themselves, a healthy outlook about who they are, feel good about themselves, and I know that this is a lifelong journey, but if they can start developing some of these skills, the way they relate to nutrition, the way they relate to substances that are not good for them, the way they relate to people outside of themselves is all going to stem from the relationship and how they relate to themselves. So I think that this first unit just sets the tone for the rest of the semester to learn about the concepts and keep these concepts, these core concepts about self and self-awareness that goes all the way through all the units. So yeah, in nutrition, we'll discuss all the types of different nutrition concepts, and there's not one size fits all in nutrition anymore. We talk about autoimmune diseases and disorders and the kind of like dietary, I don't know if you want to say guidelines and restrictions and things of that nature that help people that have any kind of autoimmunity and autoimmune disorders that that they're having, and how some of that knowledge can actually be beneficial even if you don't have one, in preventing them and things of that nature. Substance abuse prevention, of course, we speak about the opioid crisis and the different types of things that are going on that are current, vaping, but all of the drugs that get discussed and learned about, and we'll probably be doing some research and some presentations. And so there's a lot of presentations, and not a lot of presentations, but there's a lot of research projects that we do. A few quizzes, a few tests, but mostly these are classwork assignments that they develop their researching skills. They find out what they know, what they can find out through research, and what they don't know. So we discuss a lot of the things that are definitely handed in. We go over it, what we did great, what we can improve on. But we work on how to be better at researching. And in human growth and development, there's not much that we go over from what they learned in Wisconsin, other than possibly some of the STDs like HIV, AIDS, things of that nature. But the main focus is, again, healthy relationships. What constitutes a healthy relationship? What constitutes an unhealthy relationship? What are the warning signs of unhealthy relationships? How do we get out of one? And that, to me, is just critical for their next 4 years in high school, so that they can not go down the road of something that's unhealthy for them in any way, especially whether it's friend relationships or intimate relationships or things of that nature as they get older. So there's, again, mostly going to be classwork assignments through Google Classroom. There'll be some research projects that they do, sometimes individually, sometimes in groups. Sometimes they have to present. But overall, the grading is the same as any other class in terms of the scale of 60 to 100. But either way, I don't really give too much homework. I try and get things done in class. If they don't finish in class, maybe they'll have to finish it before the next class. We also do one other thing I wanted to speak of, and it's called the quote of the day. The quote of the day is a quote that we do that ties the lesson in. So every day they have to type up what the quote is, and then that I give them, and then they interpret it in their own words. And there's never a wrong quote interpretation. It's always correct. It's just having them look at something and see what perspective they can find. And hopefully during the quote discussion, they can learn something from each other, because not everybody sees the quotes the same. And I think that's actually a beautiful thing, that we can learn something, not necessarily change our mind, but learn something from each other and the way we view the quote. So there's a little reading, there's a little writing, some literacy going on. It's the first thing we do in class every day. It's graded at the end of the marking period, but it's not graded on what they type up and what they interpret the quote to be. It's mostly just how much they've typed and how much the effort they've put into writing it, and that they don't miss any. So there'll probably be about 22 quotes quarter one, 22 quotes quarter two. They get graded separately for each marking period, but again, that's a quote that's coming up. That's going to be something that we do each day. So my email is Alessio, ALESSIOA @brookfieldps.org. Reach out anytime. If I've forgotten something or haven't gone over anything that you think is important that you'd like to know more about, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to meet you, talk about what's going on in class. I believe in this course. I think it's a great class. It's so important to me. It's the lifestyle that I try my best to live also, and exude some of that positive energy and make sure that some of these kids pick up something throughout the course of this semester that they can take with them and own it, and somehow improve just the way they approach being healthy. So that's it for me. I hope everybody's doing well. And again, reach out anytime. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.